Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pentakill Season 3 Week 5 game between the Noxus Black Rose and the Voidwalkers? Is it just Voidwalkers or is it something Voidwalkers?
Voidwalkers.
It's just Voidwalkers.
Voidwalkers, yeah.
V-dub.
My name is Jerbearr. I'm joined today with Twin and Kev. How are you guys doing?
Hello. I'm good.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for every game. But this one I think is going to be... I expect to see a lot of interesting picks, Whenever we have Zergrush Joe playing, I always am hoping we see a Heimer, something weird.
Oh man,
Totally.
Right off the bat, the Camille pick from Bladen.
That is his #1 favorite comfort pick. He will
I mean,
pick
that's
that
so.
anytime he's up.
Yeah, and you know that Joe plays Heimer and Teemo, and if you mess up, and Garen. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and worth mentioning, as always, this draft was done in a different order in the draft tool, so this is not necessarily the order that they picked them in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was going to say, why would Zergrush Joe not play Teemo here, It's, perfect. It makes Camille so miserable.
It is a miserable lane for Camille, but I actually don't mind. It's not so bad later if you could isolate the side lane, because you just one-shot him, basically. But yeah, the Garen's strong right now. And
Garen's good. Definitely something Joe plays. Another comfort pick on the side of Voidwalkers is Kiana on 9 range. Did just get a small nerf, I believe, on this patch. But definitely a comfort pick for him. That's something he gets pretty much anytime it's available. Certainly one of his favorites. And I think does pretty well into the Lux.
I do Sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Well, I just think it's interesting, the Action and Vex bans. I feel like 9-Rain's been favoring Kiana over those champs. Maybe they just think they're stronger right now. So that's kind of curious. And then, of course, the Shaco ban for Tissue Box. That's pretty much every game. Free real estate right there.
Yeah, absolutely. You do not want to give a Shaco main their one trick, and certainly not one who's in Diamond.
By the way,
interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Is there a champ in this league more than Kate that keeps getting given over to players that are most comfortable on her, and they just get them every game?
Maybe Kog'Maw on your team.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's Kog'Maw.
It's four Kog'Maw games in a row.
Yeah. So Caitlyn, on that abstract, and he's had at least one monster game on Caitlyn.
He had one big pop-off game.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of like the. Oh man, I was gonna say I kind of like the Zyra pick here, but I think Camille struggles a lot to dive into comps where they have a very heavy peel support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean
but I think Zyra just dies to Camille.
I mean, well, Camille and the fact that there's a Hecarim there too, I think is where a lot of the trouble comes in.
And also the Lux to follow up on any of that engage from Narnia. Zyra does pretty well into Camille if you're playing pretty safe. Playing pretty safe is not what Kraken Skulls is known for. He's been more of an aggro player, plays a lot of initiators, hooks, the Alistairs, and Nautiluses of the world. So I'll be curious to see, I'm a Zyra one trick myself, so I got my eyes on that Zyra for sure.
That being said,
I love it in severe things like Camille and Hecarim though, because you play far enough back, and as soon as they go in, you just drop your ult and all your plants, and they don't realize that by the time their dive is over, there's 6 plants hitting them and they're knocked up, and they can't keep pushing forward. So it's I think it's pretty good. It also makes up for the fact that there's basically no other magic damage on the side of Voidwalkers, right? They've just got those 3 ADs in Sejuani, also pretty AD heavy.
I'd be curious to know where they picked that in the draft, because I think you're right, that might have been a solution to the lack of AP. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, and Caitlyn Zyra in lane.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
if Tissue Box plays around bot lane and not even that he has to gank all the time, but just gives them space to keep Nolbe forced under turret, and Twitch doesn't get to get out and roam and that kind of thing, and that could be pretty potent. I mean, that's if you're stuck under turret against those two, it's not a fun time.
Absolutely. Zyra also is pretty much the hardest counter to Thresh that exists right now. Thresh Hook pretty kind of, premeditated, and the Zyra plants do block it. And also just the amount of harass you can put on a Thresh with his range is pretty oppressive, especially with a Caitlyn as your laning partner.
Yeah, I don't think Thresh is
Interesting.
amazing right now, but I will say in competitive 5v5, like,
Oh yeah,
just
Thresh
the
is
fact
always
that he has his W is huge. You know what I mean? Nobe already known for being like very safe in lane and having good positioning. That just makes him even more unkillable in lane. Just gives him more of a chance.
I love the Twitch pick with the Hecarim early ganks and the super squishy lane of Caitlyn Zyra. Twitch's ability to just kind of pop out of nowhere and blow someone up on a Hecarim engage is definitely going to be pretty strong. And then also, I mean, you've got that like crazy long range backline with the Lux Twitch with it when his ult's up, and some pretty strong frontlining with Camille Hecarim. So they've got a pretty nice kind of front to back comp, pretty standard on the side of NBR. Whereas
I also really like
it's murder time
really like
on the other team.
Yeah, I like the Thresh pick too, because not only does it give some safety to Twitch, where, I mean, Hecarim Camille are probably diving most fights or looking for a flank, and the Thresh just offers so much more safety to Twitch than a lot of other champs would. So, I mean, if Thresh can keep Kiana off of Twitch, if we get into like a mid game where game's pretty even, I feel like that's going to be a pretty crucial point in team fights. Can Ian keep Nolan alive? And I mean, it's going to be spicy because Kiana's pretty feast or famine.
Yeah,
like you're either getting in there and killing everybody, or you just get blown up and don't get to do much.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of like a rough Kiana game for me, if I'm being honest, just because I think Camille and Hecarim just kind of run over you. And if you ever get hit by Avion, like...
It is tough. So. Like, it's like a one... I mean, it's either Twitch or Lux that you're looking to make a play on. And, again, there's going to be plenty of threats trying to run you down. You know their eye is going to be on Kiana in teamfights, so we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do like their comp with the, Sejuani and Garen for the front line, the Zyra plants to give you kind of extra vision in team fights when you're trying to sneak around and maybe get a pick on someone. So they've got kind of the right kind of disruption team fight comp that kind of supports a Kiana pretty well. So,
Jared, do you want to stream in Discord so that we can?
Yeah. Let me get that going.
Cool. No, definitely. I agree. I think they follow up on each other really well.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Kind of stacking in a bush here.
Yeah, going for a little level 1, but just the line of scrimmage on the Noxus Black Rose.
Every week I'm interested with somebody like who just walks into the other team's jungle.
Yeah,
it's pretty in the league, but
if I'm wrong, Noxus Black Rose is 3-1. Voidwalkers 1-3, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
That sounds right.
And the Voidwalkers, who did they take down? What team was it? Do y'all remember?
IWB.
I believe it was IWB. Yeah.
Okay. And Kevin, was your team that took down NBR, yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was gonna say it was Miles' team, but yeah, you're right. It was our team. Any interesting summoners or masteries? I don't think so. I think everything
looks pretty standard. Yeah. I mean, the TP Ignite on Camille, it's standard, but worth mentioning.
Yeah,
I like the Lux Exhaust as well, right? Just making sure she's not getting... I know some people like to take the barrier too. Some people being Jill. But yeah, Exhaust pretty good into the Garen, and if you ever end up with
lane as well.
Yeah. If you ever end up with one of the melee champs on you, it's pretty good. Garen's pretty strong, but I do think he's gonna have to play these trades pretty safely because it's Bladen's a great player, and I think he'll kind of recognize those situations, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh, big hook.
Good flash.
Yeah, a necessary flash.
Yeah, they got the early level 2 and the hook, and Kraken managing to get out of there.
I'm not sure if Kraken was trying to flash over the flame, but it looked really cool. Right?
If I'm getting hooked, I'm spamming
Stead's
flash in
walking
some
right
direction,
by.
hoping for best, honestly.
Right by the Heck Room.
Yeah, it does get spotted there. Kaden does go in. Unfortunately, no follow-up from the missed luck skill shots there. Joe gets ignited. Probably will take down to that. Yep. First blood over to Camille.
Man.
That's not what you want to see if you're on the Voidwalkers.
Yeah, that's rough. I was just about to say, so much of that lane is about spacing. And Camille playing reactionary to Garen's Q cooldown, and then trying to get in, like, damage with the second Q or the tax sweep when that's on cooldown. And looks like Bladen was just playing it correctly. Oh, another good hook.
Yeah, no flash on him now. If you keep getting hit by those hooks, I mean, Zyra does not have a lot of health, but does manage to get
Kind of interesting in that top lane fight to see the ignite go down, and you know, Garen sometimes takes it too, right? So I think maybe if he had the ignite, it might have been a close one if he wanted to try for it. Oh, there you go. There's the plant.
Yeah, there's the plant tech from Zyra there. Sometimes you just kind of get lucky where your plants, because Zyra has 2 ways to spawn plants. One is the W that you can actually place it where you want. The other is just the passive one. Sometimes you get those passive ones exactly where you need them, and it really works out nicely. And sometimes you just troll your ADC and it's still CS. So, not sure if that one was placed or lucky. I think it might have been still level 2, so that might have just been a good, a lucky one. Nidoran diving under tower, does not get the Lux. And kind of just blows the summoners and dies there. That's pretty unfortunate.
I will say, so far, Noxus got to be super happy with how the game's going, just because I think they're, you know, they kind of expect these 2 lanes to be the strong ones, right? Like, I think they're used to playing around, in their game so far, they're used to playing around Nobe and Bladen getting super strong. So
Yeah, the fact that Lux got that kill early, that felt a little bit like, uh-oh, another good hook.
Almost certainly dying here.
Yeah, you can only take so many of those.
5-minute dive under tower top lane too, and Camille's gonna get another kill.
Yeah, oof. Doubling CS almost there too.
I will say, it's Fed Camille's scary. I think Sedge does a pretty good job at dealing with her though. You know, I think they have a pretty good lockdown comp. So, you know, it's not like a Yi getting fed and you know you don't have any CC. You know what I mean? It's not that type of thing. But it still sucks, right? It still sucks, especially if Garen can't match her in a side lane later on in the game. It's going to be super difficult.
Yeah, totally. I'd like to see a little bit more out of the Sejuani, honestly, here, right? That's, you know, you mentioned the strong lanes for NBR, but a lot of the strength on Voidwalkers is in that Diamond
Jungler. It's in their mid jungle. Yeah, exactly.
And you know, he's actually getting out CS'd by, you know, in theory, the lowest elo player.
I've actually seen a number of games where Cathan has been, in terms of solo queue rank, like greatly outmatched by his jungle opponents, and has still gotten CS leads.
Yeah. I mean, Hecarim is a strong jungler right now, great farmer, moves around the map super fast. But already, you know, see coming bot in there, making some stuff happen. Huge room from everyone.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean, which is kind of like...
Yeah. Does get picked out here, like, though. And just as we're talking about that, they do try to make a dragon play here.
A good punish. Kill goes over to Sejuani, which, I mean, at this point you'll take it, right?
Yeah. Hook goes on to 9 Rain here on the Kiana. They're able to get out of there just barely, ticking down to the poison.
Oh, tissue box.
Oh wow!
Getting a little excited. Almost picked up a kill, but
the dragon actually making
putting
some pressure on Noxus there. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! No!
Oh, it does get him out.
Well, he's gonna.
Awesome.
Oh wait,
wow. That's a little.
If he gets, that's just.
I think Tissue Box is gonna go collect him.
Moments before disaster, you see a ward go over and.
Yeah,
I guess
I don't know if it's.
Didn't notice that.
I don't know if it's technically worth it, but
no, it's definitely not. With Thresh dying and giving a shutdown, definitely not worth it. But it was really cool.
Yeah, but you know, 10 times out of 10, Ian's sitting there like, I'm gonna take this hook.
I feel like Ian and Nobe are probably the bot lane in the league that does stuff like that the most, where they're just like, you know, this will be cool if we.
Yeah,
This will be
absolutely.
cool.
Especially, you know, when you got a little bit of a lead going and you're kind of feeling yourself. You've landed
for
like
sure.
5-6 hooks in a row. Honestly, Ian doing an
30
amazing
CS
job on
lead.
Thresh.
A 30 CS lead, 8 minutes.
Yeah,
top
doubling
lane.
CS top, keeping that
Super scary.
constant throughout this. You just know at some point Bladen's going to be coming out of that top lane and just doing work. And
What are the
you've
things
got the
about-
Zyra Kate on the back line, that's going to be probably pretty devastating.
Yeah, one of the things about Garen that makes him so strong is his ability to weather any lane. So it is a bit rough, like especially like that first kill, and even that second kill. I think he was playing too far up in lane, and so he's just like barely missing that window where, you know, if you play it just a little bit safer, you can just let your passive heal kick in, probably live. And you just hope he's not too far behind to be able to continue to match.
Yeah, some great trading coming up from Bladen here too. One thing that you'll see as we actually have a bit of a fight in the mid lane here. One thing you'll see from a lot of the higher elo, top lane in particular, but any of the side laners, is the ability to kind of know when to go in and out of tower range and kind of juggle the tower shots against the minions. You see Bladen got like a few hits off there, got a trade in earlier without taking any tower damage, and there he took just one shot into the shield. But kind of timing his engages when the tower shots are going out and getting out before the next tower shot picks him to make sure that he gets the great trades there.
Oh my
Great
God.
hook there.
Fresh goes in. We do have the lane gank coming out of Sej.
Yeah, great game from Sedge here.
Oh no!
That was very well played by Kraken. Gets out with the sliver of health, and he knew Sej was in the back pocket, and he hard committed to that kill.
Not even just that, but also super unfortunate there for Nobe and Geralt is Geralt flashing forward, and looks like Garen's gonna die here. Quick dive in the top lane. Yeah, Geralt actually flashing backwards to kind of reposition himself, and that actually makes Nobe take the Caitlyn ultimate, which is what killed him. You know, yeah, like I think there always you want the Twitch to live, right? If you're Thresh,
Yeah,
like
yeah, you gotta
that just sucks. That's so
take one for the team there for the support.
yeah, for
but
sure.
A little unfortunate for him, but yeah, great play from Kraken there, stepping up. Like one of the big things about Zyra into Thresh is knowing when to dodge forward and not just backwards, because A, hooks and things like that are often going backwards. But B, Zyra can do quite a bit of damage as we have a little bit of a fight in the mid lane here. Garrett moving around the map.
Oh, and
I think
nice
first
dodge,
miss hook of the game for him, unfortunately, but
yeah, he dodged through the Thresh. That was pretty cheeky.
yeah, that was a good movement there from 9rain. Although he does get hit by that binding.
Oh,
And
Auto
again,
was mid cast.
yeah, it's a
Man.
bit tragic. A couple of these heavy engages not working, but
As the spectators here, we can also kind of... Oh, wow, Nobe behind enemy lines here. I'm not sure how he ended up over here, but looks pretty...
yeah, I think he was going for that little cheeky play where you pop out of the bush as people are coming back to lane, trying to catch people kind of off sync with each other, but they did both kind of come in at the same time, so he wasn't able to get that cheeky pick.
Yeah, I think one thing right now for the Voidwalkers that's good is that they're not totally behind in CS in every lane. They're losing top super hard, but they do have a little bit of a lead bot, which is good.
Yeah, a little bit of lead bot, a little bit of lead mid as well, but unfortunately there's 3-0 in kills.
Yeah,
there,
like it would be
so-
pretty disastrous if they were losing, every lane in CS, and the kills were stacked up how they were.
Yeah. Fishy Bucks are in the top lane trying to make something happen onto Camille, but there's
That
Caitlyn's
one's actually
counter.
pretty close.
Oh, and yeah,
Ultimate
man,
early
that's
there.
just...
Nyron shows up, but he's late to the party.
And I definitely think that 2v2 is... I mean, it's not bad. So Johnny Garen, it's not bad at all. It's just he's just so far behind at this point.
Yeah, he's already got the Divine Sunder into boots.
The Kiana ult there also missing.
I don't know if I like the Berserker's Greaves on Garen there.
I mean, it's pretty standard, but if you're this far behind,
Yeah, I feel like you kind of
like,
have to. Oh, we got a pick on the
you're
Kayn here.
gonna.
Great play into both of them. He's got both of them trapped in the ult, and that's just free range for Twitch to pick up 2 kills. Great.
Oh, the
him.
plant in the bush!
But yeah, you always gotta pay attention to the Zyra plants. They get a lot of cheeky kills, and does pick one up here onto Garrett on the back.
Honestly, I'm not sure that him having a different boot choice there.
Really I just think it's kind of an interesting first pick into a lane you're losing super hard in. Berserker Greaves is gonna make it rough. I don't think that was a major.
What do you mean by first pick?
It's like his first item, right? Like he goes and gets complete boots before he gets any defensive items or anything like that, and he's got like attack speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if I'm Voidwalkers, probably what I'm thinking is, I'm gonna wait until Kiana gets 1 item, and then go for a kill then. And then, maybe you can get picks, because, once Kiana gets her mythic, she's still gonna have damage to kill some of the squishy members. Especially with Lux not going for that new defensive mythic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Lux
But
usually doesn't
aside from that,
pick that
it's
up.
tough.
She goes for long range poke, and they do just dive right onto the bot lane here and get 2 quick kills. Maybe a turnaround onto Hecarim here. Great flash from Tissue Box. Does manage to pick that up. He's fighting Bladen under tower, but
Bladen gonna take another dive.
Yeah.
That's Bladen's maybe 4th or 5th dive of this game, 14 minutes in, so
yeah. And
that's how that's going.
If you play Camille, these are the games you dream of, where you are so far ahead, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, great ult from Avion, kind of recognizing Kiana was in that little choke point and not going to be able to dodge very easily, and does manage to finish off the Kiana, who was kind of playing a little too far forward with that amount of health.
And so far, it just kind of feels like one of those games where a team starts to get behind and then just can't stop. You know, like they just.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were able to kind of slow it down and stop dying so much, you're out farming in some lanes. You know what I mean? You have some stuff going for you. You know, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's definitely something that teams probably need to work on. Is just kind of being able to get behind and stay, you know, the same amount of behind as opposed to.
It looks a bit to me like some of the veterans on Voidwalkers see the early kills going down in their lanes and are feeling the pressure right off the bat.
Right.
Good hook here onto Kiana. Kiana, great ultimate. Just blows up Avion. Tissue Box frontline, and they might actually have a chance here, but here comes Twitch. He's pretty farmed.
It's a 3v3.
Kaden kind of leaving the charge here, but Sejuani does have quite a bit of mitigation and does probably end up running down the Zyra here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those plays that if the gold's even, that's huge. But when you're 10k gold down, 16 minutes in, every single fight is just doomed.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when you've got you've got an assassin. I mean, you do get the pick onto the Lux, and that was a 400 gold bounty, which is onto the Kiana, which is exactly where you want to see that. So, if I'm red side here, I'm okay taking whatever it was, a 3-for-1 or something like that, and dragon for them as well, because they do pick up the dragon. I think that's okay because you get the bounty. A cheeky kill here from Joe, and Nightmare looking on a Nobe here and does just
hey, there you go.
On the other side, similar story. 11-0 Camille. That's gonna. I don't think that champ is going away, but do try to play here from 9 Rain.
I mean, the chunk of damage Camille did to Kiana with Q1 there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Blade does finish him off with the ignite there. He's 12-0. I mean, if you're red side, you're trying to take fights without that Camille because the bulk of the lead is there. You've got a couple of kills on the Camille now with the Prowler's Claw. Maybe able to get some picks. But as soon as you see Camille, it is time to leave. Because Camille will dive you under anything.
Camille is probably on the top list of champs too that you don't want getting like super strong this early, right?
Yeah,
It's not like she's an
absolutely.
80 carry that like maybe you can just blow up in a team fight or something.
Yeah, she is so mobile. She's not gonna die. I mean, she has the Omni Vamp and the health from, Titanic or Ravenous, and then from Sunderer. Like, yeah,
And with his
it's
25th
rough.
hook of the game there, he's been just on fire with
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, he didn't look
Just showing off at that point.
And behind, obviously the Camille's the strong one right now, but they've also got a Twitch, they've also got a Lux. So
Here comes Camille.
Another
on
kill.
Dax.
Like,
And we're pretty much just watching Camille run around and look for kills.
Yeah, this is a bit of the Bladen highlight reel this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Good hook from
like,
Ian. There's
at
26.
this point, it's not even a highlight reel. He just hits them once each with an ability.
Yeah, he's
Like,
just he's playing a bot game and he's popping off almost.
he
It's
just shows
kinda-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sees a hero, he kills a hero.
And honestly, not even the scoreline isn't as bad as maybe some of the other super early.
Oh god, half health.
Yeah, as they do get a pick here on a Kraken Skulls as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look nearly as bad as some of the other ones. But it's probably the worst just because.
I mean,
of Camille,
in terms of, but in terms of gold,
we're gonna get
I
a
think this
19-minute surrender. By,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Voidwalkers.
Wow. I mean,
First
yeah, it was a
round of the
14k gold lead. I
season,
think
I
that might be the largest one we've seen at 19
Yeah.
minutes.
It's either that or the game with Shurima and Freljord that happened last week or earlier in the week. That one started out similarly, but of course, Freljord was
Yeah,
able
they
to
were
pull
able
back a
to
little
claw
bit.
it
But
back a little bit.
It's just rough. I don't know. That's a very hard game to see a way back into for sure.
Yeah,
So.
and obviously not seeing way back into it is they.
MVP
It's rough, yeah.
very easy.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
definitely.
Bladen
Ian
popping off.
on these hooks. No, of course it's
Yeah.
of course it's Bladen.
No, but it's worth
He did a great
mentioning.
job, and I would 100%. If there was not a 14-0 Camille in that game, I'd say Ian on the thresh hooks there would be popping off left and right. Did a great job in all the team fights and stuff too, getting picks, but. Bladen just hard carrying out of that top lane. And then one of the things that we've seen people kind of, pop off in a lane early on and then just kind of sit on that for a while. But Bladen doing a great job at, I think, immediately converting that into plays all around the map. And that's one of the things that makes a big difference.
Also that dive, the 1v1 dive, knowing that you can pull that off and just playing it correctly, that's the mark of someone who is just a veteran and knows what they're doing. So
yeah, absolutely. Just knowing how to go in and out of all those fights and hitting every ability and getting all those picks once he got his lead. 20,000 damage on him. Next highest in the entire game was the 9k on the Kiana.
20,000 is pretty impressive for
For a 19-minute game. That is more than 1,000.
yeah, with literally 0 team fights. It never got to that
these
point.
are all single pickoffs, pretty much. Yeah, so definitely. I mean, can't really sing Bladen's praises enough for that game, but great job to them. And I think that pretty much wraps up our cast for the night. Great couple of games. This one, unfortunately, went pretty one-sided pretty quickly, but a lot of exciting plays. So.
Yeah, GG to both teams. We'll see if Noxus continues their devastation with their now 4-1 record, and if Voidwalkers can bring it together and start punching back. So
yeah, we got an interesting, I think, 3-way tie for second. 3 teams now with 1 loss and 4 wins. I mean, there might be a 5th win on.
We're 4-0. Shurima's 5-1. Piltover is 4-0.
So
and
3-way.
2-way tie 4-1.
Right.
4-1 on Noxus and on Shadow Isles. So
yeah. So. Three teams with 1 loss, I guess, and NBR showing that they've got a lot to show. So
yeah, for sure. GG's, guys.
We're not GG. Thanks for the cast, everyone. Have a good night.